Hello and welcome back to TechnoSurgeon YouTube channel. So we already knew AMD had launched their Fidelity FX Super Resolution, which was based on ML, and it was available for RX 9070 and 9070 XT on first half of 2025. But now they had come up with FSR Redstone, which is basically a new a level up similar to DLSS 3.5 for machine learning frame generation, and it will be available on second half of 2025. Do note it right now it is available for RDNA 4 because it needs those special cores. We still don't know anything whether it will come to previous generations, but let's just hope. So what is this FSR Redstone? So it includes neural radiance caching, which continuously learns how light bounces in a scene to predict and store indirect lighting. So it's caching its own data and it's trying to predict the light, how it bounces and how it will be reflecting and reflecting. Next is ray regeneration, which uses a trained neural engine to regenerate pixels that could only be accurately path traced, predicts and filters grainy noise in real time. So it's basically similar to DLSS 3.5, where it just predicts, it doesn't do the complete path tracing, but it just predicts it on its way from a single source. Then is super resolution, which is enhance ML models to predict and reconstruct lower resolution frames to maximize performance, and it has been upscaled in real time, which increases performance, and you can see it's looking pretty nice. And also there is frame generation, which introduces a new ML model that uses temporal and spatial awareness to generate frames, increases accessibility to smoother gameplays and max FPS. Overall, AMD is doing pretty good, and they are essentially catching up to DLSS, DLSS 4 and NVIDIA, but they are doing it in such a short time that it's way fast, I will say. Next up, they also launched AMD's Radeon RX 9060 XT 16 GB VRAM. Do note it comes with 16 GB of VRAM. It is available for both 8 GB and 16 GB, but right now it's just 16 GB, and it is 349 bucks. It has a boost clock of 3.1 gigahertz, 32 compute unit, and 821 peak AI tops. Overall, the performance they gave is in these particular games at 1440p and 1440p ray tracing, and they say it's 6% faster. But do not we need to keep it in mind. They are comparing it with 5060 Ti 180 watts 8 GB variant. Yeah, they are comparing it to that because of the pricing. 5060 Ti RTX 5060 Ti is 380 bucks, while RX 9060 XT with its 16 GB of VRAM starts at 350 bucks, which is a pretty nice start. And also there is an 8 GB variant which start at uh, around 299 bucks, which is 300 bucks. But yeah, as you can see in this 12 game average, 12 of 22 games average, we can see it is 6% faster on 40 games tested, and they are comparing it. Yeah, in some scenarios AMD loses, but in some scenario it demolishes the competition. Overall, the graphics card is looking pretty interesting. Next up, AMD also launched their Threadripper series, and do note then they revealed two of the variants, which is Pro and HEDD process, and this is the first time, or most likely the second time, where it came to the HEDD platform. It was rumored to be shimmered up peak, and it goes up to 72, not 72, 96 cores and 192 threads. It is based on Zen 5 up to 128 PCI 5.0 lens, and it is based on STR5 socket. So yeah, it is still based on the previous generation STR5 socket, which is interesting to see, and it will be available in July 2025. So it's releasing pretty soon. It goes up to 5.4 gigahertz max boost. Do note it will be a single core boost and not multi-core. But yeah, it's interesting to see how far it goes. It comes with upwards of 384 megabytes of L3 cache, 128 PCI 5. PCI Gen 5 lane support, pretty interesting. And this is based on Zen 5 at 4 nanometer. It has up to 5.4 gigahertz enhanced AVX 512 with full 512 bit data path. So overall it's looking pretty nice, and up to 8 channel of GDDR 5 6400 ECC memory support, which is interesting. Like, I don't think any other processor supports it at this current point of time. But yeah, next up they showed us some benchmarks, which is in content creation, LLM, softwares and stuff like that. And overall, AMD beat W9 3995 Xeon processor by Intel. They also compared their Pro series with their previous generation's graphics card, not graphics card, previous generation CPU, and yeah, and that also it win, as you can see when they compared it to 7995WX. It is 2.2 times the performance of previous generation. So yeah, overall it's pretty nice looking, and these are all the variants. Let's go over it. The Threadripper Pro 9000WX series starts at the 9995WX, 96 core 192 threads, 2.5 GHz base and 5.4 GHz boost. Each and every one is based on supports PCI 5.0, AMD Pro Technologies STR5 socket, as well as 350 watts of TDP on everything. The 9985WX is 64 cores, 128 threads, 3.2 GHz base clock, and 256 megabytes of L3 cache, 5.4 GHz boost. All of these CPUs goes 5.4 GHz boost clock. 9975WX is 32 core, 64 thread, base clock is 4 GHz, 128 megabytes of L3 cache. 9965WX is 24 core, 48 threads, monster. It's 4.2 GHz base, 128 megabytes of L3 cache. 9955WX 16 core, 32 threads, 4.5 GHz base, 64 megabytes of L3 cache. And lastly, it is 9945WX 12 core, 24 threads, 4.7 GHz base, and 64 megabytes L3 cache. And then next up is the HDD product stat. They first revealed it with the Ryzen Threadripper 1000 series, then they didn't reveal it for till 5000, then 7000 series they bought it back. And though the reception might be pretty good, that's why they are bringing it back again with 9000 series. And at 9000 we get 9980X, 64 cores, 128 threads, 5.4 GHz boost, 3.2 GHz base, 256 megabytes of L3 cache, same socket and same TDP. 9970X, 32 cores, 64 threads, 5.4 GHz boost, 4 GHz base, 128 megabytes of L3 cache. And 9960X, 24 core, 48 threads, 4.2 GHz base, and 128 megabytes of L3 cache. And lastly, they also revealed their Radeon AI Pro R9700 graphics. It is based on RDNA4, but it is based for professionals and high performance on the edge. Basically, it comes with 128 AI accelerators, 32 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM, 96 teraflops of performance, and up to 1531 tops of in-force pass, 300 watt TDP. Do note it is for AI and it is not for gaming. And as you can see, they had compared it with RTX 5080 16GB variant and R9700 32 gigabytes, literally demolished everything in its path, as you can see over here. Yeah, it is insane. And as you can see over here, this is what AMD's implementation is like. They had shown us a benchmark, and it's looking pretty interesting, like how far AMD has come in all of these technologies since when they started. And yeah, AMD just released a ton of stuff during Computex, though they didn't reveal their mobile GPUs. Yeah, they might be revealing it later down the line. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the news? Sound of your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next one. Peace out.